the sweet fuck is it August already? I have no clue, but I'm going to dive straight into my TBR. The first book I'm going to be reading is one of the books from my 10 that will be unhauled at the end of the year if I don't get to them, and that is Odin's Child by Siri Pettersen. This was gifted to me by the wonderful Veronica, and I'm very, very grateful, but also very nervous. This is a very important book to her. She actually named her dog after the main character, and so there's a lot of nerves associated with it, and it's 600 pages. So that's why this one's been put off, but it sounds really, really interesting. At 15 winters old, Herka learns that she is a child of Odin, tailless rot from another world. Despised, dreaded, and hunted, she no longer knows who she is, and there are people who would kill to keep it a secret. But there are worse things than children of Odin, and Herka is not the only creature to have broken through the gateways. So obviously with the mention of Odin, this is Norse-inspired. It's written by a Nordic author. I don't remember if they are Norwegian or Icelandic, but it's one of the two, Siri Pettersen. And this sounds like a coming-of-age tale mixed with a lot of high fantasy, high-stakes danger, and I think I'm going to absolutely love this. I've just been nervous because of the page count a little bit, but also because of how much it means to someone who I care so deeply for. So, very excited and very nervous about delving into this one. Then I actually have 3 arcs to read. They are all from the wonderful folks over at Book Break, so thank you so, so much. But I do need to get through them. So the first one I'm going to mention is this non-fiction, The Inflammation Solution by Stephen Perrine. The 30-plant 7-day plan to heal your gut and lose weight. I am curious about this one. I would like to lose a little bit of weight. I'm aware I am still just about healthy, but I don't fit into my clothes, and I hate clothes shopping. So I'd like to lose just like a little bit, so that I fit into my clothes again. I am stingy and lazy, but also I've always had issues with my gut. It's always been bloated my entire life, and I have digestive issues and stuff like that. Don't want to go into that too much, but this could be interesting. Chronic inflammation and an unhealthy microbiome are the underlying causes of weight gain. The weight gain and the weight loss is just like a happy side effect. Eating 30 plants a week can help you lose weight, heal your gut microbiome, and feel healthier. I'm very curious about the science behind this, because immediately reading that, and if the author, Stephen, has done his research, he will understand. Reading that, my brain goes, fuck off, what is this nonsense? However, it has been published by publishers that I tend to enjoy their non-fictions from. It's Bluebird imprint. So I am curious about the claims that he's going to make, how he's going to make them, and how he's going to back them up. So we shall see. As you can tell by me being like, is this bullshit? All of these reviews are honest, but the book has been sent to me for free. The next one that is in that list is Bodies of Magic by Freya Marske. I have really enjoyed Freya Marske's works when I've read them. I've read Swordcrossed, I've read A Power Unbound. Is it? No, that's book 3. I've only read book 1 in that series. What is it called? It's that one. Sorry, editing Abby. I've read that, I've read Cinderhouse, which I loved Cinderhouse. So I've been enjoying their books, and this is a dark academia, so I'm very excited. How do I describe this? Is there a press release for it? Because I don't want to do it wrong. So obviously this is an arc, so it doesn't have the synopsis on the back. So this is at a magical school. Every mage with the healer's gift has 5 years to master the power and prepare for a grand exam, which is a 5-day trial. But these students are going through the 5-day trial, and on the first group they find a classmate's dead body in the exam hall. 5 scholars, 5 secrets, 5 days to solve the murder, but they are also trying to pass their exam, and it's in a magic dark academia situation. This has so much potential. I am so excited, so excited. Like, oh. And then the final one from Book Break, I have one more book after this, is Ply by Hernan Diaz. These are the last moments of the world as it's always been known. Reality now begins anew. So these books are all either out already or come out in September. So this one, centuries from now, an orphan adrift in an American city grows up to be a pincher, stealing electricity from the grid to power the downtown music scene she adores. It's a risky occupation, and the city she moves through is dangerous. Soon she's drawn into a paranoid maze where her closest friends and even her own identity are put into question. Set in a future filled with both uncertainty and promise, Ply is a powerfully humane novel that interrogates the role of technology in a deeply changed society. So this is dystopian. I love a dystopian. I haven't read one in a little bit, actually. I say, I'm literally, as I'm filming, reading Battle Royale. that it is most definitely a dystopian. It just doesn't talk as much about the dystopian society at large. So that's probably why I didn't think that. I am enjoying Battle Royale, by the way. Little preview for my July wrap-up. But yes, so this seems to be a dystopian about a future world. I am very curious, very interested to dive in and see what this is all about. And then my final book on the TBR, and this one literally I was like, okay, I've picked one from the ones I have to. I've got 3 floating around that include one non-fiction from arcs that I want to get to in time because I'm grateful that the publisher sent me them. I'd like to get a hardback off of my TBR, and that is how I picked this one. And this is The Man in the Bunker by Rory Clements. I believe it's book 4, 6 in a series, I don't know, but as far as I know, it can be read standalone. I'm pretty sure my dad read this on its own and it was fine. What if Hitler had survived? So this is Germany, late summer 45, war's over, country in ruins. Hitler is said to have killed himself, but no body has been found. Even Stalin has told Truman he believes the Führer is not dead. Enter Tom Wilde, the Cambridge professor and spy sent in to find the truth. But even with peace declared, friends and enemies are impossible to discern, and for Wilde, the war is far from over. So, the text in this is huge. Dear Christ. So this should be absolutely easy to blast through. It's like 476 pages. I can get through that nice and quick. Lovely. And yes, I used to adore reading World War II books, and that has very much died down as I've aged. I've read enough of them now, but I am still intrigued by this one, and my dad doesn't keep anything that he reads, so I nabbed this to read it before it then gets donated off to the charity shop. Let me restack these in a non-topple formation. Here we go. These are the 5 books that I plan to read in September. I'm hoping I might get to 1 or 2 more, but honestly, I burnt myself out really bad trying to read 30 books in 30 days. A couple of months ago. I read 35 because it's me, and of course I fucking did. That burnt me out real bad. I wasn't reading at all. I was playing video games instead, which was actually quite nice, but I'd like to try and keep a balance of playing video games and reading. A nice balance. And I am getting through enough of my TBR that it's not too pressing. It's okay. I want it to be under 100 by the end of the year, and that seems very doable as long as I don't go insane with the hauling. So, this is my reasonable TBR. I am looking forward to getting to them. If you've read any of these, please do let me know down below. I'm not sure which one to start with, so you can vote for that, please. I don't know which book to start on the first. Let me know. Thank you so much for watching, folks. If you'd like to see if I end up reading these, which I usually do, and what I think of them, then please do hit subscribe, and you can see that in the next month's wrap-up video, and you can also see this month's wrap-up video next week if I actually film it and edit it on time. We shall see. Thank you so much for watching, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye!